How environment, discipline, and faith shaped John D. Rockefeller's success. A small move, a large consequence. Sometimes, success begins not with ambition, but with environment. When the Rockefeller family moved just 30 miles north from Richford to Moravia, New York, they crossed more than geography. They moved from a backward frontier settlement into a community shaped by order, faith, and discipline. Forces that would quietly shape a young boy named John Davison Rockefeller. This was not a story of privilege. It was a story of formation. Moravia, order over chaos. Moravia was not wealthy, but it was settled. Neat frame houses stood around the town center. Streets were shaded and orderly. The town had been settled by the United Brethren in Christ, an evangelical denomination known for temperance, moral discipline, and opposition to slavery. Values that shaped daily life, not just sermons. Moravia already had a hotel, a general store, a cotton mill, and a congregational church. In a young America, still marked by instability, this town represented restraint and structure. Even today, Moravia retains the feel of authentic Americana. Wide verandas, companionable streets, and a sense that life was meant to be lived with responsibility. The Rockefeller Homestead by Owasco Lake. The Rockefellers lived on the rural outskirts north of town. Around 1843, John's father, William Avery Rockefeller, paid $1,000, a considerable sum, for a 92-acre parcel of upland sloping gently toward Owasco Lake, one of the Finger Lake's most picturesque bodies of water. Bill expanded an existing house into a 7- or 8-room clapboard home, with sweeping views of the bright blue lake framed by tall pines and wooded hills beyond. Barns stood across the road. A smokehouse behind the house allowed the family to cure their own meat. For young John D. Rockefeller, this home became his lifelong emblem of pastoral order and beauty. A childhood of sensory memory and routine. Summers were spent fishing yellow perch from the cold, clear lake. Winters were bitter but formative. The Rockefeller children slept upstairs in an unplastered room heated only by a stovepipe rising from the kitchen below. Snow flurries and sharp winds forced their way through cracks in the walls. Decades later, Rockefeller recalled how the wind used to roar among the hemlocks by the shore of the lake. In the pre-dawn darkness, the children were often awakened by woodcutters' axes or the squeal of sled runners on hard-packed snow. And every morning came discipline. Eliza Rockefeller would stand at the foot of the stairs and call, "Come, my son, time to get up and milk your cow." To warm his feet in the cold barn, young John stood on the steaming earth just vacated by the cow he was milking. These were not dramatic hardships. They were routines, family, faith, and early loss. The first 3 Rockefeller children, Lucy, John, and William, had been born in Richford. In Moravia, Eliza gave birth to Mary Ann, then twins, Frank and Francis. Francis, sickly from birth, died just short of her 2nd birthday. Eliza tried to shield John from this first encounter with death, but it left a deep mark. Rockefeller would later display an unspoken dread of mortality, perhaps first sensed by his mother. Faith, discipline, and order became anchors in a world where loss arrived without warning. A father's dual legacy. In Moravia, William Avery Rockefeller briefly aspired to respectability. That's why he organized a legitimate and successful logging business, taking advantage of the region's pine forests. He helped select the site for the town school and persuaded taxpayers to fund it, at a time when many believed children should be educated only at home. He even headed the local temperance committee. John later recalled proudly, he'd get a thing done while his neighbors were beginning to talk about it. Yet Bill continued to vanish for days, weeks, even months at a time. Acknowledging Eliza's frailty, he hired a railroad worker, Hiram Odell, to manage the farm and look after the family during his absences. Work as formation, not punishment. While Odell worked the land, Eliza assigned chores to John and his brother William. Unlike his father, who often avoided manual labor, John embraced it. He later described himself as a son of the common people, believing that physical toil toughened the mind for greater struggles ahead. Frugality and hard work reinforced an already stoic nature. Rockefeller came to believe that hardship, properly endured, was not an obstacle, but preparation. The lessons drawn together. No one taught John D. Rockefeller how to build an empire. Instead, life taught him that discipline begins in routine, not motivation. That faith provides structure, especially when life is uncertain. That work, done consistently, compounds over time. That order is the antidote to instability. Church mattered, not only as belief, but as structure. Work mattered, not as punishment, but as training. Community mattered, not as comfort, but as accountability. Rockefeller's later obsession with efficiency, systems, and control did not originate in boardrooms or oil refineries. It was forged in cold barns, disciplined households, and a town that believed character mattered. Closing. We often search for shortcuts to success. History suggests there are none. There is environment. There is discipline. There is faith in structure. And there is time. John D. Rockefeller's success did not begin with oil. It began with how he learned to live. If you value history that reveals how success is quietly formed long before it becomes visible, subscribe to Lessons Untold.